Say the word, Ricky.
Well, we're live.
All right.
No, I think it's loaded now.
Good morning, Internet.
Now we're live. Cool.
Good morning, y'all. This is the Monday morning edition of the international live stream of Mystery of Geeks of show for the 15th de Mayo
Oh my
of
goodness.
2023. I'm
Okay.
Bearhart. I'm here with Kirsten and Rickitty. Say hi, kids.
Hi.
And wave your paws if you've got them.
Wave your paws in the air like you just don't
There you
care.
go. There you go. Good morning. Good morning. I've had an interesting weekend, and I'm gonna talk about this. When I talk about things like this, I need to make it super clear. I'm not looking for pity um, or what's the word, condolences or any of that kind of stuff. I am neurodivergent, and I process emotions very, very differently, I think, than most people. But I've had some events in my life that have caused me that have caused it triggered some old emotional patterns, and I spent the weekend um, dealing with some depression. And I mentioned this because I think I want to do a live stream on this later in the week. Our next live stream, which is going to be Tuesday night, is definitely going to be about what happened to Pearl, because we've been having calls for that a lot. But I think on Thursday, I want to talk about um, how I deal with my emotions, because not only as a neurodivergent person, I think a lot of people in our current times are dealing with emotional stuff that is not familiar, and could include some measure of depression or um, or anger or fear or any of these things. And so I just wanted to mention, um, for me, it's important to find a way to acknowledge my emotions and to feel them and to go through them without allowing them to control my life and without allowing them to take over. And this is a delicate balance, because I think a lot of us, especially those of us in technical disciplines and those of us who lean toward the intellectual, we tend to see our emotions as an adversary, and and we sometimes tend to just stuff them down and ignore them and pretend they're not there and get mad at them, and this kind of stuff, which I find um, counterproductive, because then there's more of a chance that they will take over. And so, I wanted to mention this, not because I'm looking for anybody to say, "Oh, so sorry you weren't feeling good," because really, that's not the point at all. The point is that I have successfully navigated this, and um, as a person with autism, to be able to do that is a ginormous victory,
It
because
really is.
earlier in my life, before I had the awareness that came from the I don't know, the last 30 years when I've been dealing with it head on, as opposed to just not. um Earlier in my life, this would have crippled me for weeks or months, and instead, I just spent the weekend facing it and doing my disciplines, my meditation, my flowering tree, and then getting to the point where last night I had one of the best nights of sleep that I've had in weeks, and I'm feeling on top of the world, and I'm dealing with some of the things directly which triggered me, and I'm dealing with them in positive ways. So, I know that there's a lot of folks, especially a lot of folks in tech, who deal with this kind of stuff. So We're going to talk about this more in our Thursday evening live stream. Yes, our schedule this week is our evening live streams, our longer live streams that go on for 45 minutes to an hour. Those are going to be Tuesday and Thursday, just like they were last week. And then we'll decide whether we want to keep this schedule or go back to the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday schedule. And we'll see that. And we're definitely open to input from you all on that. All right. In the news, this has really caught my attention. I know a lot of people are watching the elections in Turkey because Turkey is in a part of the world where they have a lot of influence on the Western world. Yeah, Ricky, do we have a comment?
Yeah, before we get into the Turkey elections, we have some comments. So on Facebook, from a Mr. Mohammed KB, says, "Hey Bill, I've been watching your videos on lynda.com since the beginning of time. I just wanted to ask you, is it a good business compared to YouTube content creation or Udemy courses?"
That's a fantastic question, and for a long time it was, and I am now making the transition to YouTube, and so you'll find all of my most current content on YouTube. So that's a really great question, and we can talk more about that in the future. Please log into our Discord. I think you'll find it in the comments there, and if not, you can always find it at j.bw.org/discord. j.bw.org is my little personal short URL service, as opposed to bw.org, which is my website. So j.bw.org/discord, you can always find our Discord there. And that's where you can make, suggestions and comments for our future live streams.
We also have a comment on YouTube from Info-Entertainment, who asks, "Hi, what is this live stream about? ? And I would just like to answer that with, it's all about those bear shenanigans.
The way that I put it is, it's about all the crazy shit that goes on in my brain.
The life and times of bear.
The life and times of bear. It's if you look at our first podcast, where I explained that people over the years, because I've led a very full and interesting life, people over the years have suggested that I write a memoir. And rather than sitting down and writing for a couple of years and publishing it and having it largely ignored, we've decided to do it this way, where we just get out there and talk with y'all on a regular basis. And our evening live streams, and especially our podcasts, tend to have a lot of stories of some of the interesting and weird people, places, and things that I've encountered over my life. So this is really just about that kind of stuff. It's just a place where I can shoot off my mouth. But thanks for tuning in, and I hope you find it interesting. And I hope you comment and let us know what you think. And again, log into our Discord. The Discord is fun. All right.
Well, no, if you let Bear shenan once, he's gonna what, Ricky?
He's gonna shenan again.
He's gonna shenan again.
Yes, we also have dad jokes.
There.
We also have dad jokes and sometimes mom jokes.
Oh, we have another comment from Info Entertainment saying, "Just want to thank you for your C++ course."
Thank you. The latest version is on YouTube, and it's all there, all four segments of it. And I think it's pretty great.
We have another comment from Mohammed saying it's AI era.
Yes, it is AI era, and we've talked about that a lot over the last few months, and I'm sure we will talk about it again. It's in the circles in which I travel, it is an ongoing subject, and I do have many opinions. So I wasn't really going to talk about Turkey. I was going to say, I know that a lot of people are talking about Turkey, but there are not enough people talking about Thailand. Thailand just had an election. Thailand, for those who don't realize, second largest economy in Southeast Asia, and traditionally one of the strongest democracies in Southeast Asia. Until the last few years, Thailand also has a high rate of coup d'états. And every once in a while, the military comes in and takes over the government for a few years, and they have done this. And in doing it, they rewrote the constitution in ways that are going to tend to make it difficult to get them out of power. But there is currently a very strong movement led by younger voters to take Thailand in a more democratic and progressive direction. And they just had an election, and overwhelmingly, the more progressive parties, including the what's it called, the Move Forward Party, and a very, very strong youth movement that's resulted in a 75% election turnout, which is unheard of in Western democracies. And it means that people are really pissed, because if everything were going fine, most people don't bother to go vote. So there's two progressive parties. One of them is Move Forward Party, and the other one, I forget what it's called. And they have overwhelmingly won the election. And the government has said, oh, slow your roll here. We're going to take 2 or 3 months to count this over and over again before we announce a victor. And they also have recently changed the Constitution so that the entire Senate, they have a typical parliamentary setup where they have a lower house and a higher house. And the lower house has like 500 or 600 members, and they call it their Congress, I believe. And they also have a Senate, which is the higher house, which is entirely appointed by the military ruling party, 250 members. And they changed the Constitution so that the PM is elected not just by the lower house, which is the way it is in most constitutional democracies, but by a total of both houses. So the ruling military has those extra 250 votes. And so it's unknown whether or not they're going to get a progressive PM or not. But one of the major changes that this youth movement wants is a reform of the lèse-majesté law, which lèse-majesté is a type of law that prohibits people from criticizing the monarchy. So Thailand has a monarch. It's a hereditary monarchy, and it is illegal to say anything negative about the monarchy. And there is currently a large number of political prisoners who are prosecuted and given very, very long prison sentences for violating the lèse-majesté laws. So, a lot going on there, and really, I mean, in my view, this is representative of the movements around the world towards more progressive and less fascist, right wing.
Archaic.
Pardon me?
Archaic.
Yeah, not just archaic, but really regressive, fascist power grabs, which is going on in many, many democracies around the world, including here in the U.S. So I'm following this. And I know a lot of people are following what's going on in Turkey, and what's going on in Turkey is a similar type of a battle. But I think that this result in Thailand is, and they have a younger population in Thailand, and I think this is really a kind of a wave of the future for a lot of democracies around the world. You guys have something?
Yeah, but it doesn't really have anything to do with what you're talking about.
That's fine. That's fine. Kirsten's been has something that she's been wanting to
okay,
talk about
it's
for a week.
It's really not that big of a deal. I just thought it was interesting because if I hadn't
So if you
had
start out
anything,
if you start out with an apology for having any thoughts of your own, it really kind of but just go for it.
I don't like this. So I found out last week that now that the whole COVID era is attempting to come to a close, that it was the what's the word I'm trying to think of, like the deadline, the cutoff, the end of Title 42, which was an immigration law
Yeah.
That basically gave people asylum here in the States, and that's gone.
Yeah.
So
There's been a lot of talk about this.
I can't imagine what that means for police force, immigration. I mean, my mind's just been reeling, like, especially because I live in Texas. I'm near the Mexico border. I know I'm still like 14 hours away from like Brownsville, like the nearest actual entry
Right.
point. But I don't know.
Kirsten's
It's just
in
kind of
North
been
Texas.
like I'm in the heart of Texas. You know how it
Okay.
goes.
Okay.
But yeah,
I thought that was closer to like San Angelo.
Really,
Yeah.
tomato, potato.
Okay, Kirsten is deep in the heart of Texas.
Thank you very much. And if not physically, then like mentally and emotionally.
I actually think then that maybe we're closer to the Mexico border in Vegas. If it's a 14-hour drive for you.
I don't think so. Oh, it's possible. No,
because
I don't think
it's
so.
only a 6 to 7 hour drive to TJ from where we are.
Yeah, it could be.
So I am
TJ,
sure
you're talking. Yeah, I mean, there's closer border towns than
there's closer
TJ.
border towns is what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, then why aren't y'all talking about this?
Well, because it's this has been heavy in the news lately, and that they were predicting that it was going to result in a flood of caravan immigration. The right-wing scaremongering about brown people flooding the country from the south.
Right.
And
even John Oliver did a segment about it.
Yeah, and it turns out that since the end of Title 42, which has been, I don't know, about 36 hours now, that border crossings are down by 50%. So the wave of gang members from southern countries is not happening.
Yeah, it says my drive time from Dallas to Mexico is 13 hours, 47 minutes. So
okay.
Do with that information what you will.
Yeah. Well, you are in Texas, and you do have a governor and a press there that is very, very, they want to keep the whole southern border in the news as much as possible, because that distracts people from thinking about stuff that actually matters to most Americans, which they don't want to talk about, So, yeah.
Oh, shoot. I meant to raise my hand.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It just registered as it flashed off, but I put up the wrong one. Okay. So Info Entertainment said, really learned a lot from it. Same situation in my country. But anyways, I have a question.
What
is going on? I hasn't specified. Anyways, he says he has a question. What is going on in the US related politics? The Trump issue. Correct me if I am wrong, but I saw in the news that protesters destroyed the White House or something. Like, what's going on between Trump
protesters
and other
destroyed the White House?
I think he's talking about the January 6th insurrection.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't the White House. That was the Capitol building. I know, it's confusing. Yeah, the U.S. has three branches of government, and the executive branch is in the White House, and the legislative branch is in the Capitol building. And yeah, January 6, 2020, there was an attempt at a coup by Trump followers who tried to stop the election results from being certified so that Trump could somehow remain president. And yeah, it's been a big story here. Large numbers of those people have been prosecuted and convicted of insurrection-related crimes. Oh, that's worth.
They also said, what's going on between Trump and the other politician? How much time you got? You know?
Now I can sum this up in 30 seconds. Trump wants to just stay in the news, and he says lots of crazy shit 12 times a day, trying to keep all the news focused on him because he's an attention whore. And also, as long as he is the front-running candidate, he feels like that gives him some immunity from prosecution for his many, many crimes. None of that is working.
That was a great summary.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great summary.
It's the teacher in me.
Right.
I excel at explaining shit.
Excel. Nice. Good one. So this is actually kind of tangentially related to what I was going to talk about today, because I saw that yesterday, or maybe it was a couple days ago, I don't know, but on Fox News, one of the anchors of Fox News was recommending 100 Gex, who is an artist, a music artist. And they described this music artist as a mix between the Beach Boys and Zappa. None of
The
this
Beach
could
Boys
be further.
and who?
And Zappa.
Frank Zappa.
Zappa.
Frank Zappa, yeah. Okay, none of this could be farther from the truth. I mean,
Who is the
I
artist?
don't know. 100 Gex.
Oh,
They're
I don't know
promoting
who
them
that
on.
is.
They were promoting this artist who is like very, very, pro LGBT, very outspoken about being an ally, and pretty much only listened to by a lot of queer communities. So I don't know which intern had beef with this anchor and put that on the screen for him to read about, because 100 Gex is not the kind of music that you would assume any politician to be listening to, let alone the Fox News. Let alone the Fox News anchors. I mean, there's just no way. I'll send you one of their songs after this, and you're gonna be like,
like
"What
that.
the hell is this?" It's
I'd
something
like
known
that.
as hyper pop. I like 100 Gex. I've seen them live. I like them. Yes, 100 Gex, but it's JECS. So
G.
Scott Bois, yeah, G. Scott Boyer on Facebook said 100 Gex ? And yeah, I'll go ahead and send a.
Yeah,
send
put out a
link.
link.
Maybe we'll play some. I
Put out a
will.
link on our social media.
I will. But yeah,
want to
that's all I
recommend.
had.
If you all like Zappa and you want to know who, in my opinion, is the modern Zappa, and you know that I'm a huge Zappa fan. I have that hat, that I wear sometimes. In my view, the modern Zappa today is Lewis Cole, who I went to see in LA a couple weeks ago. Really, really progressive music and super creative, wacky, scatological lyrics. Very, very Frank Zappa in a lot of ways, with perhaps a few less minor seconds. Minor second is a musical interval. Frank Zappa loved the minor seconds. But yeah, anyway. He called them two chords, which was weird. But in any event, this is the longest morning live stream we've had in a while, and I kind of like it. I hope that it works out for all of you. But I do believe we have overstayed our welcome. So again, remember, no live stream this evening, but tomorrow, Tuesday, 1800 Pacific time from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Same channel, same bat channel. We'll be back with. So tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. But then also we have our live stream at 1800 Pacific. That's what I meant to say. And sometimes I just trip over my own damn words. Have a great day. We love you. and we will see you tomorrow.